Hello and welcome back again. So this time I'm going to show you in this part 2 of the introductory video, the 3 things that you will be spending a lot of time on. And those are Zoom, Canvas, and MyOpenMath. And so, of course, you know how to use Zoom, I assume, because they rhyme. Zoom, assume. Because you have been taking classes online probably. And so I assume that you know how to get on the Zoom, and I will be sharing, different links, perhaps from Zoom, perhaps from YouTube, and we will see how that goes. But let me share my screen on the web browser where I can show you Canvas and MyOpenMath. Okay, so every one of you has a Canvas account with College of the Canyons. And if you go to your dashboard, you will see every course you're registered in, I believe, plus some other things. I have a whole bunch of Canvas shells because I am involved in many things as a faculty member. And the first one here is our Calculus 3 class, and you should have something similar. There's a picture of a young man named Isaac Newton who said, I have seen further than, I have seen further, it's by standing on the shoulders of giants. And that's sort of a famous quotation from the life of Isaac Newton. By the way, Newton was a college student, rather poor college student in England, in London, or outside of London, in 1666. And suddenly a plague hit. The school and campus, everything closed. An entire city closed. They all had to go home. And so he went home to the countryside outside of London. And you know what it's like? I mean, everybody has to quarantine and, something that you just never heard of because you've never experienced anything like that in your life. What are you going to do? Like, you can't go out to eat. You can't do this and that. Well, it turns out in 1666, back at his home, he thought hard and he wrote and wrote. And he had 3 big ideas. One is called gravitational force. Another is optics, on which he wrote an entire book. And then the third thing is he figured out differential and integral calculus. So sometimes a plague year turns out to be an enlightening year, an incredible year. So let's remember that. I think it's a great lesson from history that you can learn. The year 1666. Maybe the year 2020 will have something exciting. All right, forget that. That's a good thing to remember. Let's click on this Calculus 3 with Canvas shell. And you will see something similar to this. Now, you don't see everything I'm seeing because I have not turned everything on yet for the students to see. But I have, and these are, these big chunks are called modules, as you probably know. General information is the first module you see. And here you will see a course syllabus. If I'm going to click on this, it's going to take some time for the Canvas system to open up these items. But here you will see your syllabus for the course. I'm just going to highlight a few things. I know you can read, and I'm going to let you read this syllabus on your own. But there are a few important things I should emphasize. So it has my contact information. Basically, you'll be contacting me through email and Zoom. And then the text and tools information. Here is a website where you can download this book. And again, I would encourage, you don't have to download this entire PDF file. I think it's 300 plus pages. But it's nice so that in case you lost your internet access, you can still have your textbook with you. And then a graphing calculator or an equivalent app is helpful. As I said, Good Grapher, and then maybe another one called Desmos, and there are a few other. GeoGebra is another one. Many apps that you can download on your phone, and your phone can turn into an incredibly sophisticated graphing calculator. There are student learning outcomes, things about tests. And one thing I should emphasize here, I don't know if you can see this, but I say in every syllabus I have, no test scores will be dropped. And sometimes it's almost like a tradition in the math departments around the country that you are expected to get a drop on on your lowest grade. Well, I don't do that, okay? And that's because every chapter is important. If you find one chapter to be very difficult, I don't want you to say, well, I'm going to do poorly, or I don't even bother taking a test on this chapter because my lowest grade of 0 will be dropped. No, you don't, okay? You don't do that in my class. Okay, grading. It's pretty much standard type of system, your homework, and maybe we'll have online discussion boards, but mostly homework will count as 15%. Chapter tests will be 60%. Remember, we have 5 of those chapter tests, and then the final exam, which is comprehensive, will be taken, and that will be counted as 25% of your overall grade. When I wrote the orientation letter, I was under the impression that maybe this epidemic will be over soon and we may be able to have these exams on campus. However, things have not gotten better. In fact, things have gotten worse. I think in fact, all of these exams will be taken online. And so that will lead me to, to the next thing, which is to, something later I'll be talking about how you take your test on campus. All right, your grades, a straight scale, A, B, C, D, and F. You can look at it. Homework, basically what I ask you to do is to use an app like Genius Scan, a PDF scanner, Smart Scan, Cam Scanner. There are many of these free apps you can download where you can use your phone to take pictures of your homework assignment and your work that you show along with your test. And those will be converted into PDF files, and you can upload those through Canvas. Okay. Now, I used to take some picture or the photo files, but photo files sometimes are not displayed well in Canvas. And sometimes they just don't come at all, and it usually comes in multiple pages. So I decided not to use those anymore. And so please do not send me photo files like, JPG file. So please use these apps to create PDF files of your work, and that includes homework. All right, and I'll show you MyOpenMath here in a minute. Just keep this number in mind. That 78144 is something that you may want to remember as we go into MyOpenMath. All right, so we have lots of resources. The TLC is still providing online tutorial services. MESA, the Math, Engineering, Science Achievement, they do have their student membership, and DSPS office for students with disabilities, and we have many other resources. Make sure you read this carefully in the bottom of page 2, because above all, it's really important for you to stay healthy, both physically and mentally throughout the semester. That's one key element of a successful semester. Okay, so there are lots of helplines and resources that the college does provide. Okay, how to do well in the course? Basically, it says keep up with the semester. Just stay faithful, do your work, and watch the videos. Don't just go into exercises hoping that you know how to do those. And I try to emphasize in my videos, why you do what you do, because if you understand the processes, why certain formulas or certain procedures work, then it'll help you retain that knowledge. But not only that, it'll help you have a deep understanding, which will tremendously help you as you go into future math classes at your 4-year university, and some physics classes. Because if you don't, if you're just applying formulas blindly, you're not really understanding the concepts, and that's not good. All right, professional conduct. You just basically use proper language when you speak to each other, or with your instructor. Academic dishonesty will be dealt with, and so on. Here's the progress for the semester. Right now, there are lots of things in here, but I do want you to know that it is flexible. Okay, in other words, I have a guideline here, like on week 3 you should be doing these, but you are not slave to the these activities for each week. okay? As long as you keep up with the contents and sort of a reasonable time frame, I'm okay. Now notice here, just like in the face-to-face classroom situation, I'm expecting to cover about 3 or 4 sections every week. And that's because if this were an in-classroom, regular instruction, I would be covering 2 on Tuesday and 2 on Thursday. Or 2 on Monday and 2 on Wednesday. So typically, we cover like 4 sections of the book, and it's quite fast. But remember, I mean, there are like tens of thousands of other college and university students all over the country taking this class, and they're all following pretty much the same standard speed, which is, 3 or 4 sections every week throughout the semester. And then of course you'll have 5 exams. And then, I will try to provide you with video lessons for each of these sections. Okay, so that's the syllabus. Now let's go back to a few other things on the, on Canvas. Okay, the rest of the thing, since I've covered the syllabus and you can read most of the other items here, on your own time. Course textbook and homework system, if you click on that, it'll help you, it'll get you to the place where you can download your textbook, and it'll take you to the MyOpenMath.com website, which I will show you in a minute. Learning objectives, you can read and whatever. Okay. Other resources are available here. These are the resources provided by outside vendors and outside places, Khan Academy. There is another good website called Math is Power for You, for and then letter u.com. They have over 5,000 math video clips, mostly how to do exercises. And then you have the first assignment, okay? This is due on August 27th. As soon as you are able, open this, start answering some silly questions, and then follow the instruction to submit your paper on SYW for assignment 1. What in the world is SYW? Show your work, okay? So every time you have a test, you will also have an assignment called show your work for test X blank, right? And so this is where you submit your, scanned PDF file that shows your work. It's very important that you do this immediately after each test and the final exam. Okay, chapter 2 is already here. You have the reading, which is just a link to the OpenStax book. Video clips, these are sort of provided by other people, not me, okay? So let's go to, for instance, section 2.1. This is the first section you'll be studying. And so if you click on that, it'll say vectors in the plane. What in the world is vectors in the plane? Okay, so this, for the first lesson and for a few other lessons throughout the semester, I'll be using a worksheet. So you can download this worksheet called Basic Notation and Vectors.pdf. Click on that, and I think you should print this out so you can take notes as you watch my videos, which will be over here. The links to what I'm hoping will be YouTube videos covering section 2.1 will be over here. You click on that, watch the videos, maybe 2 or 3 of those, and then you, as you take your notes, then you do your exercise, homework 2.1. And this is what I was talking about. If you click on this, it will show you the PDF file of those problems that I want you to do for section 2.1. You don't really have to use the textbook to do your homework because, well, you don't need to. But anyway, so you're not seeing this because I'm not sharing this screen with you. But anyway, if you click on this, you will see the homework set for 2.1. All right, after you do your best in answering those questions, then you have the key, which is the PDF file also. This will show you step-by-step solutions to most of the questions that I ask. Now, this may not be enough. You may want to get some other help. And so this is where you click on MyOpenMath, okay? And I will show you this in a minute. And so that's pretty much what most of the sections look like, okay? I'll go back to finish up my explanations on the Canvas shell, and then I'll go to MyOpenMath. Okay, so the rest of your Canvas shell will be like this. So you have a place to turn in your homework 1 right before your test number 1. Test number 1 will be available on September 9th, I think. And remember, we expect that all of you to be taking the test synchronously at the same time. So between 8:25 and 10:50 a.m. on September 9th, you will have test number 1. And then this is show your work test for test number 1. This is where you will submit all your papers showing your work for test number 1. And by the way, the first test covers the first 5 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What about 6 and 7? Well, they will be a part of test number 2 because chapter 2 is just sort of very, very long, and chapter 3 is not nearly as long. And by the way, chapter 2 has no calculus. This may be a surprise, right? You sign up for calculus 3, in your entire first chapter, there is no calculus. And that's because, well, that's pretty much a standard way of teaching calculus. You will be talking about vectors in 2- and 3-dimensional spaces, dot product, cross product, equations of lines and planes, and distance between lines and planes, and so on. And so, I mean, I'm not saying this is easy, okay? But just maybe be happy that you are not going to take any derivatives or integrals for the first few weeks of this course. Okay, so that's your Canvas shell. All right, then now let's go to MyOpenMath. All right, so just what you have to do, what you should do, if you want to get extra help on your homework, go to www.myopenmath.com. This is what you're seeing here. You should create your own student account, okay? And here's my username and password. You register as a new student, and then you log in. And you should have to do that, of course, once. And once you're logged in, I mean, I am logged in as an instructor for a bunch of courses, but Math 213 Fall 2020 is one of the courses I am signed up for. So if you click on that, now you are not going to get there yet. You see this number here? What you will do is you will have the very first page after you sign in as a student. You can sign in and log into or enroll in, quote unquote, enroll in any class available on MyOpenMath. And you simply put the course ID of 78144. That the number is on your syllabus also. Then you will be enrolled, quote unquote enrolled. It's unofficial, it's not related directly to COC. And so you'll be registered to my Calculus 3 course on MyOpenMath, okay? And you can browse through this. And so for instance, if you click on chapter 2, you will see pretty much the same thing you'll see on my syllabus. All right, let's say 2.3 dot product. Some of you may already know about dot product from another course or something. And oh, you don't want to do a well, I'll show you the teacher's view. And what you will see is a series of 13 questions, okay? Now, if you look at your homework that I assigned as a PDF file on 2.3, you will see 13 problems, okay? And that's not by accident. I basically copied all of these questions to make one PDF file because see, online on this system, these numbers keep changing every time you log in or somebody else logs in. So it makes it really hard for you to work with your classmates or with your tutor or with me because I don't know what numbers you just got for these. Right? So here, take the dot product of vector A and vector B. And so, you know, if you know how to do it, great. If you don't, you can click on this video. And then the video, I'm not going to do this right now, but a video clip will pop up showing you how to do this type of the problem, right? And then you submit your question. But see this, you don't need to actually submit your question. You can submit you can click on your answer and you can, you know, enter your answer here and you can click and that will give you either the green, you know, correct or red incorrect indication. But none of these will count on MyOpenMath, okay? Because what I will be grading on you on is the set of exercises that I'm assigning you in writing on the PDF file. But in case you need extra help on the specific problems, okay, this is where you will go, and you can access many of these resources on MyOpenMath. And I hope this will be helpful, okay? Now, remember, like I said, last semester I used this system as the official homework platform. But again, students, have to learn how to enter, various mathematical notation, and that's not really a good use of your time. So I decided not to do this, but this is available and it's free for you to use. Okay, so that's about all I'm going to say at the beginning of this course. And so with this introductory video, I hope you are more certain of what to expect this semester. As I said before, I'm very much looking forward to this section of the course, pretty much taught online. This is the first time I'm going to teach the entire semester of Calculus 3 online. But like I said, I prepared a lot and I spent many hours over the summer getting ready for this. So I am quite excited. I'm very confident that if you do your part, you will be successful in learning Calculus 3. There are lots of exciting, wonderful, great topics in Calculus 3. So I hope you will see or have a glimpse of some of the beautiful aspects of higher mathematics. And you will like that world. Okay. In fact, you'll never go back to the world, the whole new world, right? I mean, you'll never see things the same way again after Calculus 3. This is going to be a great class. All right, so I will see you next time you log on to perhaps section 2.1 lecture. Okay, I will see you.